Norway in April is fresh. Our most incredible friends drove long distance through a snowstorm to pick us up at the train station and took us directly to Tori's house for coffee. To be welcomed inside a home and experience an everyday Norwegian lifestyle enriched our visit experience beyond all expectations.
One day when I woke up,
with the guidance of our intrepid hosts, we covered a lot of land in just a few days and managed to get a taste of Norway's eastern region between Oslo and Os. I used to say Oslo and Os, but now that we've been to Norway, we have to say it properly. Anna Siri and Torleif spoiled us by feeding our passion for all things made of wood, by treating us to Norwegian food, art, and shopping in local villages. The greatest times were spent in our very favorite place, outdoors and playing in the snow, skiing from cabin to cabin, Viking style.
We made it.
The Vikings, their story and remaining artifacts are all in museum villages now.
1775. It's a dwelling house. There's no chimney.
no chimney, no window.
It is believed that the churches originated in the Middle Ages and were made entirely out of wood with staves or corner posts. Traditional stave churches were often built by using expert joinery and no nails, no glue, certainly no duct tape. The museum villages present a collection of traditional buildings that have been moved, renovated, demolished, and rebuilt, reflecting centuries of evolution from Viking times to modern times. We strolled around admiring details of traditional woodwork.
That's one board. That's one board. And the trees were big back then.
Along the winter road trip, I began to sense a timeline of Norwegian history as expressed in restored villages. Expired mine sites have been repurposed. Out of the slag heaps of copper mines rises vibrant tourist attractions, award-winning mine exhibits, Airbnb accommodations, cafes, and trail systems.
What's the name of this home?
Luz Deluxe.
The village of Rørus is now a UNESCO heritage site. Once the copper company shut down, the mine itself was transformed into a museum. Mining towns have their season, and then how do you fill that economic gap? The Norwegian style is to support new industry that features traditional techniques and materials.
I have about 80 square meters of this.
Yeah,
We can make many.
of course he does.
Because we will the other things.
In Rørus, one such successful project is the restoration of hundreds of homes the miners once occupied. This project alone has created a sub-economy of traditional workmanship and a pool of local, highly skilled woodcrafters. Clambering up onto the slag heaps for views and strolling the streets gives us the experience of walking through time in a living museum. Living Norwegian history becomes a reality outside of the museum world and into the home of a contemporary working farm. Randy and Arnie kindly welcomed us into their heritage farm home. We were surprised to learn that Arnie actually visited a Saskatchewan farm in Canada when he was a young man, just to see how prairie farmers manage their land and crops. Most Norwegians inherit land and property that is passed down from generation to generation. The farmhouse and outbuildings are symbols of the past that have been changed with electricity and modern appliances. The family collection of farm life artifacts is very old, beautifully crafted and decorated. We have so many common interests with our Nordic friends. The modern-day farmers live and work close to the land, ideal in so many ways. On the city and tour life, they don't just spend their days driving Canadian tourists around. No siree. Somehow, they worked full-time jobs to pension age. They raised a family of children to adulthood. And years ago, they helped organize a community center to provide a space for creators of woodwork, fabric arts, and gardening for immigrants.
Very nicely. Tool's workshop.
Oh, nice.
Not the whole house.
No, not all of it.
This is an old book. I found it outside.
Really?
So I just removed the rest and put a new handle on. So it's a handmade.
Looks like it's been...
Yeah.
And of course there are other dresses that are have a more silver and more embroidery.
Det var noen fra 60-årsdagen din i hvert fall.
The borders.
Okay, you have to start again and do something.
Yeah.
Are you tired? Vad heter det? Faner. This is Echinacea. This is Zinnia. This is Lobelia. This is Petunia. This is Östers.
Smells good.
It's happy.
It's okay. This is Purre.
One major bond that we share is a love of the outdoors, and not just satisfied with sliding around on snow or loitering in the sunshine. We are all crazy for the cabin life. Skiing from cabin to cabin brings out our inner Norwegian.
The Vikings built it like that. It took me days extra work just to save as much as possible of the original timber.
In Canada, Dan restored a trail cabin this year, and Tour Life has taken on the rebuild of several traditional cabins. They are so fortunate to have such willing and lovely assistants. That'd be us, you and me, on the city.
But I have used it because I wanted to do it in tradition. You saw it yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
You can make bread, eh?
We should do that. Norwegian wood goes hand in hand with Norwegian food. Might have to change the lyrics to that song. Home-baked everything. Complete spreads of unique and tasty food. Waffles at the farmhouse with homemade jams of local berries. Very thick cream and strong coffee. Lots of good, tasty, strong coffee. And more coffee, brewed over an open fire, cabin style. Canada and Norway are so very far away from each other. When we are waking up in the early morning, our buddies in Norway are getting ready to go to bed. WhatsApp keeps us close until we can visit again. We exchange photos of everyday events and ask questions about family, weather, wild animals, flowers, berries, mountain hiking. We have so much in common and would like to return to rebuild Viking-style cabins with our friends, to learn Hardanger embroidery, to make fireweed jelly and homemade muesli, and to sink our teeth into more flatbreads and waffles topped with brown cheese. Returning to Norway in the near future holds a great attraction for us. We cannot ignore the feeling that we could very comfortably live in Norway.